All right, Shalom. This is Gamaliel Allah out of Great Millstone, Atlanta. I want to give all praises to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM Rakakwadash. Double honors to our elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to all the Akim that are pushing out this truth and sincerity. All right, coming at you with a part 2 lesson. All right, this is a follow-up to the live stream that I did last night. I had to cut it a little bit early. So I'm just gonna pick up from where I left off, and like I said, we're just gonna pause the video, and you know, I add in precepts as we go. All right, so let me pull it up on the screen. Screen share. Okay.
Better than letting them slander us with all of these things. So I wish we could have walked away.
Did anyone shout any?
That's right. So matter of fact, let me go back a little bit.
Found another spot to wait for our buses, but at the time, being positive seemed better than letting them slander us with all of these things.
That's right. So as you see, this guy, he says he's being positive. Being positive was better than letting them slander. You know, hey, well, what's positive, man? You know, what is I mean, these guys were mocking the you know, older Native American guy. You know, so I mean, what's positive out of that? Okay, all right.
So I wish we could have walked away.
Did anyone shout any?
And he says, I wish we could have. He says, I wish we could have walked away. And like I said, you know, this is just lies on top of lies on top of lies, man. You know, and that's what these Edomites, these so-called white people, what they do is once they realize that they're guilty, all right. Once they realize that you know, they're wrong, they jump on TV, and then, you know, woe is me. You know, oh, you know, I shouldn't have did it, or you know, blah 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 blah. You know, and that's their whole thing is to play as if they did nothing wrong.
Faults back or any racial slurs back at the group?
We're a Catholic school, and it's not tolerated. They don't tolerate racism, and none of my classmates are racist people.
Did anyone?
And I'm gonna get this again. I brought this out yesterday, but we're gonna bring it out again. This is Psalms 55:21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. That's right. So let's go back a little bit, because he said,
did anyone say build the wall?
I never heard anyone say build the wall, and I don't think I've seen it in any videos.
After a
he just got done saying, I missed it, but he just got done saying, you know, we're a Catholic school, and you know, we don't say those types of things. We're not racist and blah blah blah. Hey, but his words were smoother than butter. So hey, it sounds nice. Yeah, Catholics and you know, we're good people. We're good Christians, good Christian people. You know, it sounds good on the interview, but we know this is all cap. You know, like Jake say, it's all cap, man. You know.
Of the videos, NBC News could not hear anyone shouting that hot button phrase, but Nathan Phillips claims he heard the teens shout, build the wall.
Oh yeah, I heard that.
Phillips was with a group of Native Americans coming from an Indigenous Peoples March when he can be seen walking between the students and the protesters.
And you Gadites, man, you need to wake the hell up, man. You Gadites, you so-called Native Americans, you need to wake the hell up. And actually, after this video, I'm gonna go into Nathan Phillips' response. Okay, it's right here. All right, because they interviewed him as well. All right, and you know, this guy is being passive as hell. Okay, just all peaceful, and I forgive him and all that BS, man. So we're gonna get to his response in a couple minutes. But let's get through this, and like I said, I'm gonna get some more precepts in just a few minutes.
Intervened. And
Shalom to you, Akim, on the comment board too. Shalom. YAHAWASHI Shabbat Thumb.
things just escalated from there.
Phillips says he was trying to diffuse the tense situation. Sandman says he was confused about Phillips's motives and why he was there.
At first, we were unsure of whether he was trying to join in and drum to our chants or what he was doing.
Did you feel like he was trying to get somewhere else to go toward the Lincoln Memorial?
I'm not sure where he wanted to go, and if he wanted to walk past me, I would have let him go.
In that moment, he's looking at you, you're looking at him. What's going through your mind?
I wanted the situation to die down. And
yeah, right, man. Hey, you wanted the situation to die down, but yet you staring in this man's face. You doing nothing but provoking it, you know? Let me look up that word provoke, okay? Because like I said, this is just all lies. Provoke, the word provoke means stimulate or give rise, okay? Stimulate or incite to do or feel something, especially by aroused anger in them, right? So when you get in someone's face, when you get in someone's personal space, you know, like I was saying yesterday, you know, when you do that, all right, you know, that's basically provoking the situation, man. Okay. And this guy is talking about he wanted to end it and all this BS, man, you know?
I just wish he would have walked away, but I knew as long as I kept my composure and didn't do anything that he might perceive as aggressive or elevation of the conflict, that it would hopefully die.
Why didn't you walk away?
Well, now I wish.
Hey, you see how he did that? Let's go back. Look at this.
Well, now.
Look. You saw his face? Let's do it again. This is that lie. Well.
That it would hopefully die.
Why didn't you walk away?
Well, now I wish I would have walked away. I didn't want to be disrespectful to Mr. Phillips and walk.
But he said he wasn't. He said he wasn't disrespectful. Earlier in the interview, when you go into it, he said he wasn't disrespectful, right? He said, yeah, you know, I respect him and all this and all that. But then he said, yeah, I didn't want to be disrespectful. But pretty much he's admitting that he was disrespectful. All right. You know, let me get a little bit, let me keep it playing. Then I'm gonna get a preset real quick.
If he was trying to talk to me, but I was surrounded by a lot of people I didn't know that had their phones out, had cameras, and I didn't want to bump into anyone or seem like I was trying to do something.
The center of the firestorm, what critics characterize as a smirk on Sandman's face, some saying it was an attempt to stare down Phillips. What do you think that looks like?
I see it as a smile saying that this is the best you're going to get out of me. You won't get any further reaction of aggression.
Hey man, let's pause there real quick. All right, let me get this real quick. Esau is totally through, man. You know, Esau, like I said, Esau will get on TV and just lie, man. You know, talking about that was all he was gonna get out of me, and you know, all I did was smile in his face. And like I said, his smile was very sarcastic, man. We know how you devils operate, man. This is Obadiah 1:3. The pride of thine heart have deceived thee, right? That smirk that this Edomite gave was out of pride, man. You know, and he's deceiving his own self because he believe, you know, he's trying to say that, oh yeah, it was just, you know, a regular smile and all this and all that, you know. Obadiah 1:3, the pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Now, really, this precept is really talking about your elites. Okay, it's not talking about, you know, just regular Joe, average Joe, you know, so-called white people like this guy, you know, because really the so-called white people, the so-called white race, they're a proud nation of people. Okay, oozing with pride. And this is just an example. Okay, this is why the elites are pushing this vibration out there, you know, sympathizing with this boy. Okay, their whole point of this interview is to really sympathize and win people's hearts over and say, oh, you know, he's a good Catholic boy. You know, he's a good Catholic. You know, he was just smiling, you know, even though we know that smile was just pure pride, man. You know, let me see. Let's go back to his face.
But they're Catholic.
See, this right here. This is a proud face if I ever seen one. You know, yo, that's a proud face, man. That's a proud devil. Okay. You know, let's keep going. Let's get through this.
I'm willing to stand here as long as you want to hit this drum in my face.
What some people see is a young kid with a smirk on his face. What would you say for people who see that and are making a judgment about who you are?
Well, people have judged me based off one expression, which I wasn't smirking, but people have assumed that's what I have. And they've gone from there to titling me and labeling me as a racist person, someone that's disrespectful to adults, which they've had to assume so many things to get there without consulting anyone that can give them the opposite story.
We looked at that video and thought about how it felt from the other.
Right. So he's saying, he basically said, you know, they're judging me and you know, basically, you know, just semantics. We see this all the time. This is Amos 3:11, Amos 1:11. Thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Edom and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword and did cast off all pity. All right. And that's the nature, you know, like I said, this is really talking about, you know, higher level Edomites, right? You know, Esau in general, but it applies in this situation because he casted off all his pity towards this Gadite. Okay, the Native Americans. This Native American man was basically beating his drum in I guess protest. Okay, for I guess reparations or the treatment, the mistreatment of the Native Americans. Okay, the Gadites, right? You know, this Native American man was basically you know, he was you know, that's what he was doing. That was his whole purpose, was to do that. And this devil was in opposition, and he casted off all pity. And he said himself, okay, that that he wasn't sorry. Okay, so there you go. That's a slap to the face to you know, this Native American guy, the what's his name, Nathan Phillips. All right, I'm gonna keep going. And his anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever. That's right. And Esau has always had a perpetual anger. Matter of fact, let's get that real quick. And it says he kept his wrath forever, because when you go into the history, hey, this devil right here in the reincarnation, he probably, you know, he owned slaves, and you know, he probably you know, killed a few Native Americans, killed a few Negroes, right? Ezekiel 35:5, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity. That's right. And I want to say this because the Israelites were out there, you know, of course they were out of order, and they were you know, of course they were out of order and they were insulting the Edomites, you know. But hey, they were still saying the truth, man. You know, at the end of the day, we still side with the Israelites, even though this particular group is off. Okay, we still side with them. By no means am I siding with this Edomite, right? But I'll say this, you know, this guy this guy, you know, these kids, they were hearing the truth. Okay, I'm pretty sure those Israelites mentioned slavery. I'm pretty sure those Edomites mentioned all the atrocities of the so-called white man. Okay, they went into the basics. All right, and that's what upset these Edomites and made them react the way they did. Okay, that's what made this guy react. Nick Sandman. That's what made him react the way he did. Okay, it says and thou has shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. And this is the history of you so-called white people. This is what this is what you're trying to run away from. Okay, you know, like I said, you get on TV and you know you love to play the victim, but this guy fails to mention what the Israelites were talking about. You know, what did the Israelites talk about that made you so upset? Okay, yeah, okay, they called you insults, but what else did they say? Like I said, they would have had to have mentioned slavery. They would have had to have mentioned you know, the pollution of the so-called white man, how he's ruining the earth. And these are Israelite basics. Okay, these are just Israelite basics. Any group of Israelites is going to go into these things, you know. All right, let's keep going. Let me see. I'll keep going. This is therefore, as I live, said the Lord Yahawah, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Sit thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. And you know, this guy right here, he probably you know, when he's not interviewing, okay, and when he's not in the public eye, he's shaming Israelites, man. You know, he's probably racist as all hell. Okay.
Perspective. In other words, there were a lot of you, a handful of the others. Do you think they might have felt threatened by a bunch of young men kind of beating their chests?
I mean, I certainly hope they didn't feel threatened by us. I would just say that the fact remains that they initiated their comments with us, and I mean, they provoked us into a peaceful response of school spirit.
Sandman said
they provoked them into a peaceful response. That's right. So basically, this is a peaceful response, mocking Israelites, mocking the Native Americans and Gadites. That's a peaceful response. You know, it's okay for Esau to culturally shame a particular people. Hey, that's culturally prejudiced. Okay, to make Native American noises and to do the tomahawk. Look.
Didn't see other students performing what appears to be.
Look, you see how they're doing the tomahawks?
Tomahawk chop. There's something aggressive about standing there.
See, so there you have it. They're mocking the Native American ways, and that's the nature of the so-called white man. You got what's that baseball team? The Chiefs. You got I can't remember. It's a few Native American sports teams. All right, but basically, Edomites have long mocked the Native Americans, man. You know.
Standing your ground. You both.
Damn, hold on, select.
Introducing.
Damn, advertisement. Select here 1 second. Dang it. All right. Let's go back to it.
And it was like a stare down. What do you think of that now when you think about that moment?
Oh, I would say Mr. Phillips had his right to come up to me. I had my right to stay there. Our school was slandered by the African Americans who had called us all sorts of things.
As for those red, make America great again.
Yeah, so of course they're gonna blame they're gonna give all the blame to the Israelites, and they're not African Americans. Okay, they're African Americans, you know.
That some students were wearing. Sandman says he bought his that day from a street vendor in Washington. Do you think if you weren't wearing that hat, this might not have happened, or it might have been different?
That's possible, but I would have to assume what Mr. Phillips was thinking, and I'd rather let him speak for why he came up to us.
The conflict has caught the president's attention. He tweeted that Sandman and his classmates were treated unfairly.
That's right. And I want to say this too. This also proves that Trump knows about the Israelites. Okay. For Trump to have responded to this whole story. Now, I mean, of course we know that, you know, but this confirms it, and this proves that Trump knows about the Israelites. Okay. Trump has the scoop on you different camps. Okay, Trump knows what's going on. He's been briefed. Okay, he's been briefed by his higher ups. You know, these are the Israelites. You know, this is so and so group. This is so and so group. Okay, and you know, there was a situation today. All right, where there was a standoff between this Edomite and the Israelites. You know, so like I said, this proves that Trump knows about the Israelites. All right, let's keep going.
Have become symbols of fake news. Sandman says he's appreciative of the president's tweets, but all the attention has taken a toll. What's this been like for you and for your family?
It's been terrible. People have threatened our lives.
Sandman says he doesn't want to live his life in fear, and he now hopes to come out of this with a deeper understanding of others.
I have the utmost respect for Mr. Phillips. It's another person that freely used his First Amendment right.
Yeah, but where was the respect when you were? Where was the respect? He keeps saying, "Yeah, I respect Mr. Phillips," but where was the respect when you were standing in this man's face, man? You were in this man's personal space, and he should have. Mr. Phillips should have taken that damn drumstick and beat it upside your fucking head, man, for being disrespectful, for being in his personal space, man. That's what he should have done, you know?
And I want to thank him for his military service as well. And I'd certainly like to speak with him.
Well, as mentioned,
let's get this response real quick.
Please. Okay.
Slacker, I hate these damn ads. Slacker. All right.
Phillips is with us now. Mr. Phillips, good morning to you.
Good morning.
First of all, first question, how are you?
And let me just say this, man. This is a classic example of a pacified Native American, man. We're gonna go into it, but like I said, this guy he's lost all his he's Americanized, okay? He's Americanized, all right?
This has been a whirlwind few days for you. You find yourself on the front page of every newspaper. How are you doing and how are you feeling?
Well, I woke up strong this morning and with a really positive attitude, and I had an opportunity to go to a traditional prayer ceremony, and that was the other night. And yesterday I woke up with all kinds of good feelings in my heart for all those who've been mean to me. I want to forgive them.
I believe you've had a chance to see the interview that the student at the center of this gave. What was your reaction? What did you think of what he had to say about this encounter?
I was upset I was made to sit down and watch it.
And like I said, you know, this guy, he said, yeah, I forgive him. But we just read Ezekiel 35:5 that says Esau has a perpetual hatred. Okay, so here it is. You've forgiven This guy, he forgives this guy, Nick Salmon, this Nathan Phillips, he forgives he more than likely forgives the so-called white man for rape, robbing, and murdering his people. That's why I said this guy is pacified, man. Okay, this guy is probably in the church. Okay, he's totally bugged out, man. Totally Americanized, man. He's a disgrace to Native Americans, because really a true Native American, okay, they're not gonna forgive, man. They're not gonna forgive this Edomite for what he did, and they don't like the so-called white people. And I'm talking about true Native Americans, man. You know, a true Native American is gonna speak out against the atrocities of the so-called white man. All right.
Why is that?
I read his statement, and then when I got into the first, somebody tried to show it to me before I went to my prayer ceremony, and I got into about the first 30 seconds, 40 seconds of it, and I said, well, that's all I needed to hear.
And what was your reaction to it? How did it make you feel? What did you think about his words and his explanation and his version of this encounter?
Coached and written up for him, insincerity, lack of responsibility. You know, those are the words I came up with.
That's the best thing that this guy said all interview. Okay, he said that coached and insincere and all this and all that, which, hey, we all know, man. I get this. This is Sirach 12:10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Okay. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hadst wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust hath not been altogether wiped away. That's right. So we shouldn't trust these damn so-called white people, man. You know, we don't trust them when they say, because we already read how the words are smoother than butter. So they basically are cold-hearted liars, man. Just straight up liars, man. You know, let's go back because he made a good point.
Lack of responsibility, coached and written up for him, insincerity, lack of responsibility. You know, those are the words I came up with, and but then I went to go pray about it, and then I woke up with this forgiving heart, and so
where's his anger, man? And this is why I say you Gadites need to wake up, man. Matter of fact, let's get this, because stuff like this doesn't make you angry. That's why the scriptures say in Genesis 49, talking about Judah, who shall rise him up? Judah is a couched lion. Who shall rouse him up? Basically meaning, like, who's gonna make him angry, man? Jake has been pacified in America so long that they're just got this turn the other cheek and forgive. And, even though this guy just admitted that this Edomite was insincere and his response was coached and made up, right? Even though this guy said all that, right? He said all that, but then he turns around and forgives this guy, and he has no type of anger he has no type of disregard. During this interview, he could have said, well, the so-called white people, that's their nature, or he could have dropped, certain things in there. All right, this is Romans 11 and 13. Romans 13:11. I'll start at 10 actually. It says, love worketh no ill to his neighbor, therefore love is the fulfilling of the law. That's right. So love worketh no ill to his neighbor, right? So this guy, Eric, what's his name? Sandman, whatever, right? The white boy, okay? You know, the scriptures say love worketh no ill to his neighbor, right? So for you for you to stand in someone's personal space, that's working ill to someone else, man. That's showing an act of hate. That's showing an act of disregard. I don't care if you're smiling. That's like you know, if you you know, just an extreme example, an exaggeration, but it's like if you shoot someone, if you're smiling while you shoot someone, you know, just because you're smiling doesn't justify what the actions. Just because you're smiling in someone's face, which is like I said, it's a sarcastic fake smile, it's a smirk, you know, but nonetheless, okay, that doesn't justify at all, you know, what he did. Okay. As a matter of fact, let me keep getting this. It says, and that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than we believe. That's right. So now is a high time to wake out of sleep, to realize that the so-called white man is the devil. And we have examples just like this that show that the so-called white man is the devil. All right. He gets in this guy's face. This is straight devil activity. And this angered a lot of Jakes, man. Okay. It angered a lot of Jakes, but it's not making him angry because it's to no effect. Okay.
He said when I asked directly that he didn't think he owed an apology, but he does wish that he had walked away. Was that enough for you, or do you think he?
That's the hypocrisy. I'm not gonna apologize, but I should have walked away. So that basically means he's not. And like Nathan Phillips just said, he said he's not being held accountable. He's not being responsible for his actions. Because here it is, you admitted you should have walked away. You admitted that you were wrong, but in the same breath, you say that I'm not going to apologize. All right. Matter of fact, let's get Hebrews 12:16. Okay. Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. For ye know that afterward, when he would have inherited the blessing, he was rejected, for he found no place of repentance, though he sought it carefully with tears. That's right. So there you have it. Okay. It says basically Esau, there's no repentance, man. You know, he was rejected. He was rejected because he basically sought he tried to get the birthright anyway, and he was rejected. And that, like I said, that's the nature of the devil, just real trying to be slick, man. You know. But yeah, that was the point, was for he found no place of repentance. So it's not in an Edomite's heart to repent. Okay. That's why he didn't say sorry. So that was the whole point of that precept, is he found no place of repentance. All right.
Should have apologized.
Well, if there's an apology, there'd be an apology for his own behavior to a lot of other people's beside me. I'd be like way down on the list of his people he needs to apologize to. But because of the tomahawk chop and the mocking and those things, and in one of his statements, he did say that he was the leader of that. He got permission from his school teacher. So, you know, there was a lot of times he could have walked away.
Did you hear anyone say build that wall.
And like I said, you know, he said the tomahawk chop. So this guy, this Nathan Phillips, he is aware that you know, he does admit that they were mocking him, man. You know, they were mocking the Native American culture, and like I said, that's culturally that's very racist, man. That's culturally ignorant, and that's culturally disrespectful. Okay.
It isn't audible on the video clips, I think, that are out there, but did you hear that?
You know, I did hear that, and I have seen some out there on the internet where you can hear them saying, "Build that wall."
And how did you feel in that moment? Did you yourself feel threatened?
Well, all that anger was directed at those four individuals, the Black Israelites and the youth there. And it was getting really explosive. And so when I started praying, I asked Creator God to protect me, to stand with me, and I was just to witness.
And see, God does have a sense of spirituality, but God just isn't in the right spirit. Matter of fact, let me find that. Yeah, Romans 10:2. Okay, because God, they have a you know, they acknowledge the Creator, like he said, he prayed, you know, but they just don't know any better. Okay, it says Romans 10:2, for I bear them record that they have a zeal of the Most High, but not according to knowledge. That's right, because you know, he, like I said, he prayed for protection, which, you know, that's what you should do. You know, that's what you should do. You know, and God in general, the so-called Native Americans, they're a very spiritual people, right? But it says, and so basically they are spiritual. They have a connection with the Most High, who they call a Great Spirit, but it's not according to knowledge. They don't really know. Okay, this guy doesn't get angry. Okay, all right.
What's happening? And then when I put myself in prayer and used that drum to reach to God, that mass of young men surrounded me and the folks that were with me. And it was a moment when I was in prayer. It wasn't that I felt like I could stop anything or do anything, but I felt like I was spiritually moved into that center, that whirlwind.
That's right. And hey, like I said, God is spiritual, man. God is very spiritual, you know. And like I said, just not according to knowledge, you know. But he said he moved in the center of them. And I'll say this, the Spirit led him. The Spirit of the Lord led him right there. This is all the Spirit. This is all the doing of YAHAWASHI. YAHAWASHI is the one that's making all this happen. Okay, he's the one that's setting the stage for all of this action. So he said, what did he say? He said he was basically led by the Spirit to go in the middle. Hey, YAHAWASHI led him to do that. And YAHAWASHI has it now to where the Israelites are being known, are all over the mainstream news now. All right.
As you were saying,
I asked the young man this question. I'll ask you the same thing. Do you think in that confrontation, that encounter that went on and on, should you have walked away? He said, yes, he thinks now he should have walked away. Do you think, sir, you should have walked away?
That's what I was trying to do. I was trying to walk away. There was a spot, there was a place where I could take my people, because we were surrounded. We couldn't go right, we couldn't go left, back, you know. And then that I was still in prayer, still singing. And then I was looking past the crowd, And I took that first step, and that crowd backed up. I took a second step, and that crowd started scattering or breaking apart there. And I took a third part, and I actually.
All right, so that, that's pretty much it. All right, I'll stop there, but you can pretty much watch the video on your own. All right, but the point being, Esau is through. Esau is hurt. Okay, they're gonna ride this thing till the wheels fall off, and this is gonna be a catalyst. Now that the Hebrew Israelites are in the news, this is gonna be a catalyst. All right, to have them mentioned more in the news. Okay, this is just the first time that the Hebrew Israelites are mentioned on a mainstream level, right? All right. But like I said, this is just a catalyst, okay? This is just the beginning, all right? And, we're going into that time, all right? This is 2019, the year of Charagma, all right? And it's still the year of prophecy. So a lot of prophecies are going to keep on happening and keep on unfolding. So Lord willing, you brothers were edified. I want to give all praise to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, Rakakudash. Double honors to our elders and apostles of Great Millstone.